Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Juju O. Welcome to the channel if you are new. Today the topic is going to be about Summer Walker's recent comments on surgery, and then we're going to talk a little bit about beauty standards and how they're always changing and how we as a society need to do our due diligence to protect ourselves and our individuality. So here's what Summer had to say. She made this post from her other page, her more low-key page, I guess you could say. First of all, someone tweeted, I guess, a picture of the two Kardashian sisters and said the difference in color between their hands and their faces with the laughing emoji. And Summer Walker took that tweet and replied stating, quote, "White girls want to be darker, black girls' foundation be too damn light, fat want to be skinny, skinny want to be thick, white girls want bigger lips, black girls want smaller noses, curly girls want straight, straight girls want curly. Everyone wants what the other person got, my lord, it's not shade, it's just an observation." Then after some backlash, she went on to say, quote, "I know critical thinking is a very difficult task for the vast majority, but the purpose of the last post was to shed light on how a lot of us, as in me and you, should start figuring out why we always want what someone else has aesthetically. We'll never be satisfied chasing modern day beauty standards because it keeps changing. Like every time it's a new trend, we all just go and continue to alter our bodies. And this goes for every ethnicity. It affects 90% of us. It's just something to make you think, not, quote, shade. A lot of y'all get so fucking mad at the truth, it's the delusion for me," end quote. So that was her rant. And this is one of the very few times I actually agree with Summer. A lot of people said it was the wrong messenger, right message, but I personally disagree because she actually did include herself in that category of people chasing a particular look. She didn't deny that she's a part of that community. I honestly feel like she's starting to realize that no matter how much she does to her body, it'll never be enough because society doesn't even know what society likes. We have and will constantly always be chasing the next look. Everything will eventually go out of style and something new will be in. That's how America works. That's how the world works. That is consumerism. The goal is to always have us chasing the next big thing, dangling something shiny in our faces to make us believe if we look this way, if we buy this product, if we only have this thing, then we'll be popping, we'll be happy. But the only thing that does is put more pressure on us as a society to constantly need, to constantly want something outside of ourselves in order to be validated or gain attention. This all ties in together with why commercials exist, why ads on the internet exist, etc., etc. For educational purposes, I did add an older article here explaining how advertising works to influence children in particular. So they do start it at a very young age. And with this being the internet age, now it's much more out there because we have social media where everything is an ad or commercialized. And I can't be a hypocrite because I'm an influencer myself. So that's my job to work with different brands and put products out there for consumers to buy. But I also try to use my platform to remind people that watch me that self-love always comes first and your mental health, body, and soul need to be taken care of. I'm not just out to sell things to people, and I truly do care about society and how things are going because I have a child and I eventually want to have more children someday. I also want to add in that I don't have an issue with plastic surgery. I even thought about it myself and I'm still not sure what my stance is on if I'll ever do it. So I'm not for or against it, but it's very important to discuss this and for us to understand, in particular young girls to understand that if you do decide to have these different surgeries and procedures done, that you make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. The key to acceptance is always self-love. It isn't a big butt, big boobs, any kind of surgery, etc. As long as you love you, that confidence will demand respect from people no matter where you go. And fuck the people that say otherwise, period, poo. It's also important to know the risks and be safe and smart when choosing doctors and making sure everything is legit and your doctor is actually certified and has good reviews. Because you can die from these surgeries and procedures even if it is your first time. You can also have a good surgery and something can go wrong later down the line, so it is important to do your research and know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Before you touch anything that has to do with your appearance, I suggest you do some true inner work and be one with self first so nobody can tell you anything. and then find out if that's even still something you want to do, because a lot of times girls just do it because of how easy and accessible it is these days to find a doctor. And these days girls are getting sponsors, sugar daddies, using OnlyFans, etc. to pay for these surgeries, and you can go right on Instagram to find out who the next girl's doctor is, so if you do want to look like her, you can. Beauty standards are always going to change. Right now, everyone's getting the wide hips and big butt with the small waist and boob jobs, but I can recall personally when white women thought having a big butt made them fat. They were notorious for getting huge boobs and keeping their butts small. They've always been super into Botox, lip injections, and things like that. And now in this day and age, those procedures are so accessible to the everyday person. In general, everyday people like you and I are getting plastic surgery, whereas before, you would only expect celebrities to be getting stuff like this done. And with that being said, now I'm starting to see more black women with Botox, lip injections, and more things that we truly don't even need because we have these things naturally, which makes us like an anomaly. It's like you can't tell what's real from what's fake anymore. And then we have phenomena like blackfishing, where we literally have white women passing for black, mixed, and light-skinned black women when they're not. We can go even deeper and talk about how they're allowed to play around with wigs, weaves, or extensions as they call it, and more without getting any backlash. But if a black woman brings up blackfishing or anything along those lines, everyone's rebuttal is about our hair. It's always someone that has a problem with the black woman's hair, as if we aren't the only one with the Eve gene, aka the mitochondrial Eve, which means scientifically, the black woman, who is the only organism that has this gene, has all the variations possible to produce every kind of human being on this earth. Black people come in many shades, and our hair isn't just one way either. Our eye colors can range as well. The reason this is so important to know and understand is because we're talking about beauty standards here. And again, the standard of beauty is always changing, but one thing that never changes is how society treats black women that are just trying to get by and live their lives. I'd also like to add that there's a difference between cultural appropriation and cultural assimilation, which is what black women pretty much had to do in order to be accepted. It's not just black women that are discriminated against when it comes to our hair either. It's black people in general. Dreads or locks, braids, afros, etc. are all considered unprofessional to a lot of people in the work field and sometimes even in school. The same people that rebuttal about us wearing wigs and weaves are the same ones that picked on us in school for being nappy-headed, so it's no win in this situation. Okay, and this is not to say that every black woman is naturally thick or every white woman has a small butt. But like Summer Walker said, we usually always want what someone else has, and there's really no reason for it because beauty is always in the eye of the beholder, and you can get surgery and still look a hot mess, so there's that as well. And the purpose of this was not to throw shots at one particular race or to pedestalize one particular race. I've always felt like people shouldn't argue about these things because it is the European beauty standard. And they come up with these ridiculous beauty standards that are most times, I'm gonna say all the time, oppressive to black people, and in particular black women. And what's considered to be beautiful has always been based off of European beauty standards. Even now, with every type of woman getting the same type of surgery and having the same body type, even though black women growing up had these characteristics naturally, white and light women are pedestalized and pushed to the front and center as if they were the first to do it. That's just how the cookie crumbles. So my suggestion is that everyone just love themselves, and if you are going to get surgery, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, make sure you're doing it for you, and make sure you're being smart and healthy about it. Alright guys, that's my opinion on it, but I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. How do you feel about what Summer Walker had to say? Leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!